Oh my god, it's Stryker of Enyo, in your face, on your pants, and dribbling down your leg. This is the Strike-a-thon. That doesn't exist. You don't be looking it up. I didn't really actually create anything called the Strike-a-thon. I guess I'm gonna have to now. It's not like I said it's a website. But it's not like I gotta abide by those rules. Like, if it's in a movie, I have to make the website that I created. But yeah, this is the Q&A. This is something I never thought I'd ever be able to do. No, actually, Q&As are pretty easy. It's just getting enough questions, you know, to actually make a Q&A. And I had enough. So I had a couple of questions put in, and
He's gonna hold it.
yeah, I got my buddy killed, but you know.
Let's start this show. First one.
Yeah, so this is the Jackbox masturbation hour? No. Jackbox blow it in my face? No. Jackbox party pack. I believe that's what it's called. It was actually party pack number 1 and 2 that they had on sale for like $22. And I always wanted to kind of play the original, and I wanted to be able to record stuff from it when I saw Rooster Teeth doing videos on it. When they were doing Fibbage, so I was like, where the heck did they get this game called Fibbage? And then, you know, then the Jackbox Party Pack thing came out, and it was like $25 for each one, you know, at first. And I just never really wanted to spend that much to it. And, you know, then I learned that it's basically all local multiplayer, and you gotta have phones and tablets. And but I learned a little trick to doing it. I'll end up doing that for an achievement guidebook, actually. But anyway, moving on. So, well, there's one I could do, but that's more of a thing otherwise. Someone asked me, do I like? Well, I always like doing the top moments of the week, and as I've said before in other stuff, when it comes to like making things with what do you call it? Making things with Upload Studio. That's just the nature of the beast at the moment for right now, because at any moment I can say, you know, record that, and I can record the last 30 seconds or minute or more, or I can, you know, snap the game DVR function and record the last 5 minutes or 3 minutes of game footage that I just, you know, played. So that just has the inherent, you know, ability to capture those highlights, whether they're good or bad, whether they're fails or whether they're not, or whether they're glitches. So that's just where all the how the F did I fail, how the F did I die, top moments of the week, those are relatively simple and easy to do if I have the footage already recorded. So that's one of the quickest things I can actually get out to you in a timely fashion and continue to do it. And I like doing it. But yeah, if I had a regular camera and a good PC that could do like 1080p footage that I could record on my own, would I keep doing that? I'm not sure. That kind of goes into a question later on. But that's kind of where I'm at right now. But let's capture this first question. Basically, what film would you remake? So, let's get the next, there we go, that next video segment. A film I want to remake, you know, surprisingly, it actually was, for the longest time, I was thinking of Point Break, because I really thought the original Point Break with Gary Busey and, you know, I just really thought that first one, it had potential. The original Point Break isn't really considered to be, you know, that much of a classic. It's really not in the same vein of Die Hard and whatnot. You know, it's not even in the same vein as the other action movies of the 90s that are considered good that never went on to make sequels. It doesn't stack up to stuff like Cliffhanger and my mind's drawing a blank on a bunch like Commando and whatnot, and you know, you could argue the presence of those or not. But I mean, Speed, you know, Speed, that one was great too, and that also had Keanu Reeves. But yeah, you know, I always thought Point Break really should have had a better idea. It should have had, where, I don't know. I'm not talking about the new one. I went and saw the new one. I knew I was in trouble when I realized that, because I was going to theaters on a regular basis, so I kind of thought, semi-regular, I kind of thought I wanted to see the new Point Break. I knew it was going to be garbage, but I wanted to see it. And I'm so glad I didn't. I would have got so bored. I bought it on Blu-ray later on. You're in trouble when a movie is releasing on Christmas Day. Now, The Hateful Eight, Quentin Tarantino's new one, also released on the same day. I had reservations about that, and I knew it was about 3 hours, but I still kind of wanted to see that movie too. But I came back into town like 2 or 3 weeks later, and Hateful Eight and Point Break were both gone. They both had the release days of Christmas Day itself, so it was a little weird. But yeah, they didn't even last 3 weeks in the movie theater I was going to. And Hateful Eight I ended up buying later too. But yeah, Point Break really needed something different. And I've always thought Blade Runner could use a remake. Yeah, I know they're making a sequel, but they're making a sequel to the original. And I never liked the whole idea that people were believing that Deckard was a replicant from the beginning. I think that goes completely against that character. Because if he's supposed to be the outsider, right? He's supposed to be the one that's letting us look into the world of replicants through his eyes, someone that isn't. So, and Harrison Ford has always, he stated before that Ridley Scott, when he was originally telling him about the character and whatnot, it never came up the fact that Deckard was meant to be a replicant. It's only been in retrospect, it's only been afterward that Ridley Scott has said stuff like that. So, I think Blade Runner could be cool, actually showing the power of the replicants, showing just how dangerous they are, Show us that opening sequence that was originally meant to be filmed, at the airport or whatever it was, where a series of replicants, did a lot of damage and killed a lot of people, and there was a big firefight, that was meant to be filmed for the original. Otherwise, all we get is a text intro with that event. So it's like we never really get to see, why they're so dangerous. And the action's a little bit clumsy when it comes to Blade Runner in the first place. The original. It has lots of nice scenery. But yeah, I think Blade Runner, that could really use a redo. Make the Nexus 6 or whatever it is, make those some badass characters, put in a female, have them be cute, or have the one be a female and cute and manipulative, but ultimately, she knows what she is, and she's programmed to be this way. So, yeah, it could be kind of cool, but yeah, otherwise they're making a sequel, who knows what that's going to be like. So let's move on with my other stuff. Do you use auto-tune on your videos? I forgot about that one. No, that is not auto-tune. What, the thing you're referencing is when it seems like the pitch in the audio changes when I'm speaking from one video segment to another, and it usually happens around the title of a video. I'm not exactly sure what causes it. It's not always there, and that's why I sometimes try to avoid talking in between video segments. I try to stop speaking and then let the video segment carry over, because sometimes it does that kind of reverberation thing. I can't explain what it is. Sometimes it sounds cool, but no, I don't use auto-tuned. I cannot alter the audio whatsoever when it comes to these kind of videos. I have no control over volume levels, what plays in the background, how loud it is in the background. All I can do to add music or anything else like that is to hold the headset up to my PC speakers and try to play something at the exact moment I need to. And that's about all I can do. So no, it's not auto-tune. Let's see, what's your actual favorite video series? Because I often say that, How the F Did I Die is my favorite, and I think I've said that on other ones. But I really do like How the F Did I Die, because I just like the concept of it. And How the F Did I Fail, it's a sister series, basically because I was playing a few sports games. I had a bunch of fails on behalf of the game and the game engine, so I wanted to throw some sports stuff in there, so I made fails, which is the same thing as dying. It's it's fails, but not where you die, or it's fails, you know, obviously where I fail the mission, even though I might die doing it. So yeah, that's kind of where those came from. Game reviews, I've only done 2 so far, Mad Max and Back to the Future. So, you know, I'm 115 videos in. I've only done 2 reviews. Reviews are a little harder, and that's something I would probably make more effort when I'm doing regular stuff. And when I'm doing a regular video series, a review wouldn't be such a big deal. I just started doing Stryker Viewpoint. I realized I need to structure that a little bit better. I really didn't like my first one on what actions should get gamers banned. I do like You Are a Moron. You Are a Moron basically started from the dialogue in the Fallout 4, was it? Because people would say the dumbest things, and then I would just turn around and shoot them in the face. That's where You Are a Moron came from. Top moments of the week, you know, I like putting them together because, you know, when it comes to, you know, how the F did I die or fail, you know, those are all about the bad things I do. So if I do something that's cool, I can put it in the top moments of the week. Boom, there, you saw me do it, and I can move on. So they make good highlight videos, and that's about it. I did a couple instructional things, obviously, when it came to, well, I got one for Payday 2, Crime Wave Edition coming up here. And I like my achievement guidebooks. You know, I only did a couple, but, like, ever since I was doing the countdown to, like, the top 10 videos before Video 100, so basically episode 90 and onward, I'd only done 1 achievement guidebook, but now I've actually done like another 4 just in the last 25 videos since, you know, episode 90. So I'm doing more of them. I kind of like doing those. I can't put text on screen though, so that is the hard thing about it. The one thing that if I was doing an achievement guidebook, I would have text on screen telling you guys what each one is and having a graphic of the picture of the achievement and blah blah blah. I can't do that using Upload Studio because I have a limit of like 20 characters at a time, so I can't even make a list of like 4 things that you should do and put that on screen. Only if I decide to redo the video and, you know, reformat the video again, which I think I would lose too much detail. You know, I'm already having to redo the video once from its original format to get it into, you know, MP4 and put it on my computer. I don't want to have to, you know, remaster the video footage again after that. But we'll see. So that's the reason why I don't do that. No auto-tune. That's my favorite video series. Most disappointed video. My most disappointed video is probably going to be the Stryker Viewpoint #1. Like I said, what actions should get gamers banned. I knew the stuff I wanted to say. I knew the points I wanted to make. But the thing is with Upload Studio, I had recorded like the first 6 minutes or 8 minutes, you know, and had a video segment end. And it just wasn't... I wasn't as happy with what I started in the beginning. My ending, I was able to re-record that several times until I got that kind of what I wanted. But then I realized I really didn't speak what I wanted to say in that first part, and that kind of makes the whole thing fall apart. So I was trying to do that. So that's probably my most disappointed. Besides the ill-fated video, which you've probably never seen, Kill for Skin, that I did in Far Cry 4. I believe that's part of an audio commentary, but I don't think the video itself does not exist. And I never redid it. I didn't like that one as much. I thought about redoing it just to preserve the way the video was, but I don't want to try to do that again. And it would be a new video. What games do you want backwards compatible? So that's pretty easy. Red Dead Redemption. A lot of stuff from Rockstar. Bully. A lot of things would be kind of cool to have that. I want to have Dead Rising. A couple of those would be nice, like the 3 that came out on 360. Love to have Dead Rising. I'd love to have Dead Space 2 and 3. That would give me a reason to really do that. I kind of want LA Noire. I'm not sure if I necessarily would use that in videos too much, but I would really like to do LA Noire. Can you do Let's Plays? That's another question. The answer is yes and no. I mean, yes, I can do a Let's Play, but I can only record 5 minutes at a time. I do have one in the works right now that I really, really wanted to do. It's been getting pushed back because I've gotten more footage of other games I've bought. But ultimately, I want to do something like it. It's just really hard to try to make something like that because, number one, it can't be live. I know it's not live. I can maybe make it so that it feels like I'm playing it live, but by the nature of Upload Studio, the footage I'm recording, it can't be live. So take that for what you will. And that's kind of the missing energy from it. And I can only record in 5-minute segments. That's number 2. So I have to be constantly having a timer going and be really, really aware of where that 5 minutes is going to end and what the audience might miss out on, or basically where I have like 30 seconds of me just standing still and then I splice in the next part. So it's a little tough. I really want to. I at least want to try it. I want to do a couple of them, like a part 1 and a part 2, and just see how it is. Ultimately, I don't want.
A lot of hardware. What the hell are the Russians doing?
I don't want the Xbox One and using Upload Studio to be the way that I would do a Let's Play. But the thing is, the fact that I can actually do it, it entices me, and I really want to kind of try it. You need to update your Hitman review. It's outdated now. Okay, so Hitman, this is obviously coming off of the episode 2 when it came out, and I had done. It wasn't a review on Hitman, but it was What's It Like. You know, my What's It Like series is basically a first impression. It gives you an idea what the game is like. And I did a thing on that where I really, really was disingenuous about the game, or I really didn't like it. I didn't like the way it was. And, you know, episode 2 came out, they gave us more content. It gave us like 2 more missions. And now episode 3 just came out, and I believe it gave us another 2 missions. So it's not a review, but I did take it down. And I did say that I probably might make another a part 2 for What's It Like later on. But yeah, really disappointed with Hitman. I should be the crown jewel of promoting your Hitman game because I absolutely love the series. I love playing it. Episode 2 came out and I haven't touched it. Episode 3 came out and I still have not touched it because I don't know, I wanted some content to be there before I started. Okay, now the next question. Do you like your intros? You don't use them much. The thing about intros is that it uses up a video segment, so unless I want to decompress the video or have it re-render a second time, which I've done for the big videos, like my 100th episode and 101 episode. If I want to try to keep everything as high quality as I can, which you're already getting a compressed version of the intro to begin with. So, you know, yeah, I don't always necessarily like to redo it, but and I'm going to need to have another video segment in order to do the last couple of questions. But yeah, I like using intros, but yeah, it ends up taking away one more video segment that I could use toward a top 10 or a top 5 moments of the week. You know, a top moments of the week, you know, that's what they're for. This video might be kind of boring, but I had a couple last questions I wanted to get through. Why do you use less transitions now? That's the thing with Upload. You know, Upload isn't as stable as it used to be since the Xbox One experience came out, and there's another new Xbox One experience coming out. It seems like ever since that happened, videos have been a little bit tougher. They haven't been as stable. They will continually crash on you. So I don't use as many transitions, because the more After Effects I try to do, the more likely it is to crash. If I try to add text, it'll crash. If I try to sometimes even add an outro, sometimes it'll crash. So it's just by the simple meaning of I have all the video in here. I've got a few text boxes in there. That's why sometimes on like the top moments of the week, I don't put the title of the game like I always used to, because the game sometimes will crash when I'm even doing something simple as that. And obviously I've already put everything together by the time I'm actually putting that text in there. And if I try to put the text in early, it'll crash during that. So that's why I don't use transitions as much. And here it is. Here's the big one. If you had the means to make videos without upload, would you still do the highlight videos? I think I mentioned this before earlier, but you know, I do like the how the F did I die and fail and the top moments of the week. But yeah, it would the show I do would fundamentally change, because the reason I do what I'm doing right now is because of the limited technology that I have. Don't get me wrong, Xbox One lets me at least do this, otherwise you guys wouldn't be able to get anything, I wouldn't be able to make anything. Sorry. So, yes, it would change. I probably would move toward, you know, actual top 10, top 15 lists, game reviews, you know, lots of edits, voiceovers, blah, 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 all that kind of stuff. You know, what you get from your normal Peanut Butter Gamer, from AVGN, you know, all your big names. I probably would do more production stuff geared toward that. But yeah, otherwise, this is kind of what I'm stuck with at the moment. I'm not sure if I would get rid of, because otherwise you're talking about having me record like 2 to 3 hours of gameplay footage every night when I'm playing with my friends. I don't know if I would still do that necessarily, but yeah, the show would alter quite a bit once I can move away from Xbox One. But hey, thanks for watching.